you know in ancient Rome, if you called someone to witness in court and they didn't show up, you were legally entitled to stand outside their house and scream, but only every 3 days? Hi, I'm Bailey.
And my name is Cady. In this episode of the Pawcast, we'll be sharing the top 10 most interesting ancient Rome laws/facts.
Number 1. Hey Cady, do you know some of the ingredients that go into mouthwash?
Yeah, the ingredients are similar to toothpaste, aren't they?
Modern mouthwashes. But did you know that ancient Romans used to have mouthwash too? Only their mouthwash consisted of both human and animal urine. Imagine that. But there was some reasoning behind this. Urine contains high ammonia content, a chemical compound that acts as a cleaning agent. Ammonia is also found in some products that we have today.
Number 2. Fathers were allowed to sell their children as slaves, but only 3 times. Since child slaves were returned after a certain period of time, fathers were able to sell them again. However, after the 3rd time, the father would be deemed unfit for parenting, and the child would be given complete independence.
Number 3. Stuffed and fried dormice was a luxurious upper-class meal. They were considered a meal only eaten by the rich. Before being slaughtered and cooked, the dormice would be fattened up in a special jar. The general rule for Romans was, the fatter your dormice, the wealthier you were.
Number 4. Hey Bailey, what would you do if you could own anything you want just by holding on to it?
Oh my gosh, I would definitely get my hands on some Pandora jewelry. It'd be so crazy if everybody could do that though. The economy would completely fall apart.
That's true. Nowadays, this law may seem really crazy, but a long time ago, that's what it was actually like. In ancient Rome, you could legally own anything as long as you held on to it long enough. This law even applied to people. So if wives spent a full straight year in their husbands' homes, they would legally become the property of their husband. However, wives could leave their husbands' homes for 3 consecutive days every year in order to keep their freedom.
Number 5. Women were banned from crying at funerals. In ancient Rome, it was generally believed that the more people who cried at your funeral, the more popular you were. Because of this, people began hiring people to cry at funerals. Women who didn't even know the deceased would walk into the funeral procession, pulling their hair out, screaming, and bawling their eyes out in fake grief. It got so bad that women had to be banned from crying at funerals in order to prevent people from hiring actors.
Number 6. Julius Caesar, the famous Roman emperor, hated going bald so much that he made it illegal for anyone to look down on his bald spot from above. If you disobeyed this rule, you could be sentenced to death. That's one way to teach people to not judge a book by its cover.
Number 7. Hey Cady, you know those fruit-flavored medicines doctors used to give you as a kid?
Oh my gosh, I hated those, especially the banana flavor ones. They tasted so gross.
Me too. Honestly, let's just be glad we weren't alive in ancient Rome, because some of their medicines were insane. Ancient Roman doctors believed that the blood and liver of gladiators could be drunk to cure epilepsy. Because the ancient Romans did not have any scientific explanation of epilepsy, doctors would recommend the patient to drink warm blood from a slain gladiator.
Number 8. Ancient Romans ate flamingos amongst other birds. Because flamingos were seen as a symbol of wealth, upper-class Romans loved eating these exotic birds during banquets and feasts. Flamingo tongues were especially enjoyed.
Number 9. Picture this. You're on a walk, minding your own business, when suddenly you're arrested just for wearing purple. Because purple-colored clothes was specifically saved for Roman emperors, it was illegal to wear purple. If you are found wearing purple out in public, the penalty was death. What a time to have your favorite color be purple.
And last but not least, number 10. These days, it's a very popular trend for people to dye their hair a variety of different colors. Back in ancient Rome, hair dyeing was also quite popular amongst men and women alike. The most popular colors were black, red, and blonde. Mixtures to dye hair included various ingredients, ranging from yellow flowers for blonde to fermented and crushed leeches for black. Other ingredients included goat fat and beechwood ash. Some rich Romans even sprinkled actual gold sprinkles onto their hair. Wow, after hearing all of these crazy facts, I'm really glad I was not alive during ancient Rome. Now I can wear purple whenever I want and not be murdered for it.
Yeah, and I'm really glad I don't have to use leeches to dye my hair or wash my mouth with urine. Oh well, I guess ancient Rome did have some cool history, but that's a topic for another day. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Brizzy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you never miss an episode.